Hello, my name is Mary Williams. I'm the Mind Architect. I'm an executive coach, a cognitive hypnotherapist, and a workplace mediator, and a mum of 5 children. I'm as concerned as you are about the virus coming up. 80% of us should be fine, but some of us won't, and therefore one of the things that organisations and all of us have been looking at is working remotely from home. I myself do this quite regularly, so for me it's not much of a change, but for those that it isn't something they do regularly, it is a big change, especially when you're looking at leaving whole teams at home. I've been talking this week to several of my higher level clients who are team leaders, and what they're saying to me is, how do I create safety and structure and enable people to work productively and happily from home? So I want to look at structure in this video. What are the structures that you can put in place to enable your team to work productively and feel happy and healthy at home? So when you take away ritual, people are very ritual orientated. We brush our teeth, we do our commute, we brush our hair, we watch a certain television program. There's certain things that we do. We're very ritual orientated, and we always have been. So when you remove that, you remove the commute and you remove the structure and you remove the people, actually it's really important that when you move to remote working that you put that structure back in. And in fact, you may put in more structure than you ever had before. So if you had a whole team meeting once a week, maybe look at doing that every day around Zoom or Skype or one of these conferencing facilities. Check in with your team regularly so they know that you're there. Sometimes when we're working from home, we can feel a bit lost in the ether. And one of the things that makes people's self-worth go down and makes them struggle mentally is when they feel they're not part of something. They don't understand where they fit in. And it's very easy for us to feel that when we're working from home and we don't see the connections that we're actually making. So think about a daily check-in with your team. Another thing that you can think about looking at is buddying up. Getting team members in 2s or 3s to buddy up and again have a separate check-in with each other. So it might be you have a team meeting in the morning or the afternoon and you get them to buddy up on the alternate. Again, you can set it as a 15 minutes. How are you doing? What have you achieved? Do you need any help? Is there anything I can do? So you're keeping that human contact. Humans like humans. Most of us like to be around other people. And for a lot of us, the workplace is our main place of our friendships and our connection with others. When we remove that for weeks, if not months on end, for some people, it means they don't see another human being for that entire time. So we need to keep that human connection in. So can you bring in buddies? Can you bring in team meetings? Get your team to obstacle plan. And what I mean about that is individually ask them, where are you going to work at home and how is that going to work for you? And what are the obstacles that are going to get in your way? For some people, we're used to just having a little laptop on our knee, but actually that's not going to be comfortable for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. So think, have they actually got a workplace that they can go to? Is there somewhere quiet if they've got children or they live in shared accommodation? Is there actually somewhere quiet where they're going to be able to concentrate? And if not, how can they manage that? Can they use noise cancelling headphones and have some gentle music on? Literally look at the basics with them, very much the basics, and then build up. What you're wanting to do is actually create a bespoke solution for your team. These are basics and I want you to start, and then I want you to bring in what's individual to your team and how do they work. So first of all, have they got a workspace? Is there somewhere quiet? Thinking about natural light is really important to us. Even if we move to being in isolation because we might become unwell or we're suspected to be unwell, natural light is really, really important. So is where they're going to work somewhere where natural light can get in? Is it light enough for them? How is their chair and is it going to support their back? These are things which can cause us lots of problems in the future if we're not careful. Think about using online systems such as Slack and WhatsApp, Trello, things like that, where you can again join your team together, letting them have a bit of that banter, that natural banter that kind of keeps team spirit high. Those are the things we're going to lose by not being next door to each other. And what you don't want is you don't want the humour and the humanness to come out of your team. They need to still be able to kind of riff off each other and have a laugh. And that's so crucially important when you're thinking about team morale. Make sure everybody knows exactly what it is that they're doing. Be much, much clearer when you're working remotely. Then you're not there for people to turn to. Make sure very clearly this is what I'm asking you to do, or that they're very clear in what their job is. And make sure that assumptions aren't made. I'm assuming that that person in their house is doing this, or I'm assuming that the team as a whole is doing that. Be overly clear with each other. So obstacle plan for you, what's going to get in the way of you working well? And that's both physically and mentally. And when you know that, as a team leader, you can understand the challenges that your team might face. They might have children at home, they might have elderly ones that they're worried about. They might not be able to get out to exercise, they might live in a remote area, but you'll have an idea of your team in your head, and they will have planned for the obstacles and eventualities that might come their way. So think very basically, down to the most basic structure. Where am I going to exercise? Have I got enough food to eat? Am I actually timing my day properly? Thinking about structure of your day. As a team leader, you may need to be flexible. If somebody has young children around, it may be they have to spend the morning with them, but they catch up on their work in the evening. And if that works for you, that's great. So thinking about structure, daily meetings, buddies, online systems, keep your humour there. Okay, and I'll do some other videos now to complement this one, looking at mental health and motivation and personal development. Take care of yourselves.